Now we get to make your grand entrance.
Welcome to the house. Welcome. I'm just opening the door for you. See. What we need to do.
And did we tell everybody what we're making yet?
Yeah, a vegetarian meatloaf.
Vegetarian meatloaf. Ooh, good.
So this one.
So should we call it veg loaf?
No, it's cottage cheese loaf is really what it's called.
Cottage cheese loaf, right?
But
cottage
those things just sound awful together, but they're so good. So, I mean, growing up, we just always called it meatloaf. I mean, that's what it was to us. I didn't even know people ate meat until I was, like 9 or 10. So, so this is so easy. And if you find out you have vegetarians coming last minute and you're making meatloaf or you're making a roast or you're making something else already, this is something you can make literally, I promise you, from anything you have in your pantry.
And most people have this as I look at
this
the
is all in the pantry, I guarantee it. Does a non-vegetarian, does a meat eater have all this? Yes.
I think a meat eater would have
all of this. So this is the great thing. So should we switch to this so that they can see what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to start with 4 cups of cereal. Now this is Special K. I like the rice flakes, but I'm telling you, I've made this with every cereal under the sun.
You have?
Even Raisin Bran. I am not kidding you.
With the raisins and everything?
Yes, with the raisins.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a different slant on it. Yeah, I know. You never know. So,
any cereal that is corn/rice.
Yeah, bran flakes, be gentle. I'm just saying. Drink okay.
All right. Be good with the bran flakes.
Be careful. So you're going to do the corn flakes in there, and then you're going to take a 24-ounce container of cottage cheese.
The whole container.
The whole container.
You know, we need another little thing for you. Spoonula.
But you know what? That works too.
That one will be good.
Okay, and believe it or not, I am 3/4 of the way done with this already. And then this is not an entire container, obviously, but you're going to do about 1 jar or 1 can of shoe peg corn. And then next we will go over to the stove. And I may, in the interest of time, just not show you this because it's so simple that I'll just we'll walk over here.
Let's walk over here at least.
Yeah.
Let's get it ready and started for them.
Yeah, and what you would do is you would put your stick of butter, and it's an entire stick of butter that you need.
And that looks like a half stick.
This is half.
Yep,
I'm telling you for the recipe, it's a whole stick.
Oh, a whole stick. We'd want to use a whole.
See how I did these onions? They're kind of you've cut them in half, an onion in half, and then again in thirds.
Yep. So it's like when I showed you guys how to dice the onions, you would slice into it halfway and then halfway again. Really a rough chop.
And then a little bit of salt because you want to get that.
And what do you got there?
This is Lipton onion soup.
Easy. Everybody's got that.
Everybody has this or something like it. And you don't have to use Lipton onion soup. Any kind of how we do the vegetable dip, the spinach vegetable dip, yum. If you have any of that kind of thing, any of these kind of concentrated soup mixes. Yes. But this really is the best. I prefer the Lipton onion soup. And what you do is you're going to want to just saute these onions down. And you're doing 2 onions and 1 stick of butter. Now that sounds like a lot of butter, but remember the butter is going to be the fat for the entire meatloaf.
Yep.
So we're going to.
And we have no meat, so we're not going to have the cholesterol and all that from that piece. Just the butter.
Yeah, and I've tried this with olive oil before, and I do not recommend it. You just need the butter in there.
You know why? Probably as it cools, the olive oil probably just doesn't keep it together as well. It
doesn't pull together as much. So, so you're gonna saute these down until they're clear and soft, and then at the very end, then you'll add this Lipton onion soup mix, and you'll have a little more butter in here, which I guess I could grab, but don't worry, we won't waste this. We'll turn this into another couple loaves. But basically, that's what the butter mixture is going to look like, but it'll have a little more butter liquid in it, and the onions will also release a little bit more of their juice.
Yeah, so we're not adding any extra liquid, just the butter, the onions, and the soup mix. And how long do you want to cook that on the stove usually?
Just until the onions are soft, really.
Okay, and kind of translucent as much as you can?
A little bit translucent and soft.
And we're not trying to brown them?
We're not browning them at all.
So really kind of a low heat, it's probably going to take, with the size of onions, I would say 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say 5 or 10 minutes is going to do it.
Give it patience, and you might want to try one halfway through. Just make sure it's not a bite.
You want some resistance. You want al dente.
You want al dente. Okay, and al dente means, everybody by the tooth. So that means that we want a little bit of bite to it.
Exactly.
Good.
So real quick.
Okay.
Then,
so
I'm also going to add some really good protein. I forgot to put these out on the tray in the form of eggs.
Oh.
again, going back to that lacto-ovo.
Brand eggs. There we go.
I'm gonna crack 4 eggs.
Yes,
put
I do.
those in there.
I want to crack these for you. Let me see it.
And I am just gonna go ahead and put this in here too, and we'll just add the butter. Oh, I see we got it right there.
These onions are going to be a little less done, but that's okay. Your onions will be perfectly done because I know you guys can do it.
And you know what the truth is, these will be good too, because these are gonna bake.
That's right. So you really can't mess it up. That's
You
the
just
truth
can't.
of this dish.
This one is good that way. You can't mess it up that much.
I'm going to get this started. Yeah, unlike real meatloaf, which you can burn. You want to keep adding our other ingredients?
Not yet, because actually that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Can you believe that is it?
Wow, that was so
So
easy.
you've got 4 eggs. You got 3 or 4 cups of the cereal,
You can see I'm mixing it all in here.
and it looks awful. I mean, it's really
It doesn't look great, but you know what? That's not the important part because it's not ready yet.
right.
This is just before we get it in the oven. Okay, and then we need your dish.
So we want to mix it up until it's all really well mixed. We want it to be moist. Can I switch back to this? Probably not yet. Oh, it is right there. Can they see it? Nope.
Give it a sec.
All right, because I want you to see what it looks like when it's blended enough.
Give us 1 second here.
Hold on. Kim's figuring it out. Ethan took a little break.
This is why I'm not the tech department.
That's okay.
That's all right. We can show them like this.
Yeah, we can. We'll show you from the big screen.
This is good. See how it's just kind of all really well coated with the eggs and the cottage cheese.
And are we adding any salt? We probably don't need to.
We don't need it because the onion soup mix has a lot of
A
extra.
lot of salt in that.
Now you may not have noticed, I did grab, it's just habit. I did grab about a pinch, so about a tablespoon, maybe
Maybe a teaspoon.
of salt.
Yeah, maybe a teaspoon.
With the onions. But you can just, really it's fine without. So that's what that looks like. So next what we're going to do is just go ahead and load that up in our
And are we
loaf
greasing
pan.
this?
Nope. There's
No need
lots
to
of
grease.
butter in this.
Lots of butter. So
Yep.
and this is just your general loaf pan. Everyone's probably got one of these at home.
If not, you can get the disposable ones, which we can show you.
You'll see in just a second here. Yeah.
Pre-made.
Yeah, exactly. Without.
We really got to pack this in to fit it all.
And you want to press it. Now this recipe will make 2. I'll make
Oh,
1 big one or 2 mid-sized ones. So that's probably good. And that is important. You don't want it to be too thick because the egg needs to cook all the way through. And as this bakes, it's going to soften and then firm, right? So there's a lot of liquid that's going to come out of the onion and that's going to permeate all of those corn flakes or the rice flakes.
so you can see we added about half, and then we have another loaf. So this will make 2. You can put probably one in the freezer. I bet they freeze nice.
They freeze great. Don't bake them before you freeze them. Freeze them like this.
Oh, freeze it like that. Oh, that's
Yep.
a good trick. So if you're gonna make 2, you want to freeze it.
And that's because the
Yes.
cottage cheese will break during freezing.
Right.
Ah, makes sense. Okay, great.
So we'll set these aside and I'll show them then what this looks like when we're ready to put it in the oven. So we were talking about the disposable tins, and this is a disposable tin.
Good for parties.
Yep. So this is one that I made last night. So that one's all ready to go. And we put that in the oven for, for about 35 minutes at 375. And then for the last 15 minutes, you're going to pull it out after that first bake. And you want to add to the top of it just like you would.
Oh, we need our spatula, don't we?
Just,
right.
yep.
I got it right here.
Just like you would a normal meatloaf, we're going to actually use ketchup on the top of it. Now, I like the jalapeno ketchup.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. So if you like a little bit of spice, now this isn't really very hot, but it has jalapeno flavor. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something that's going to blow your mind on this, okay?
You're gonna blow our mind.
I'm going to blow your mind.
I'm ready.
Okay. I added corn to this, but that recipe original does not call for anything extra in it. So I added corn to this, but you think about this. This is really a base for you to add any flavor you want. So think about poblano peppers.
Ooh, mushrooms would be really
Mushrooms
good.
are amazing in this. I mean, you could even do, rice would be good in here. Any of those pops of flavor, you want to just speckle them in. And then ketchup accordingly, right? It doesn't have to be ketchup. You could put sriracha on top.
Ooh, or sriracha ketchup.
Or sriracha ketchup.
Anything.
Or mustard for that matter. I mean, think about all that kind of
baked
stuff.
mustard. That would be
Right.
interesting.
So this technique, is just pretty much
Flat.
and
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah.
But you just
Okay.
want to get a nice layer on there, just like you would a meatloaf. And we actually have a completed one over here too.
We're ready for you guys. You know what? Because we're ready to taste again.
Yeah.
We're not letting you wait. We're
Right.
we're ready to taste this.
So this would go back in at this point then for the last 15 minutes, just to get that nice shell. And then that
Bam,
is what
it's
it
done.
looks like when you come all out with it.
And where was our plate for this one, Shubli? I'm sure you have something.
I have one. Let me just set this here.
Don't worry.
No. And I've actually served this before to people that it took them a few minutes to kind of figure out wait, this is not actually meat.
It's got browned edges. It's got ketchup.
Now, I will be honest with you, normally what I would do before I had, before I serve this is I would take it out of this.
Oh, and
pan.
clap it out. That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
So I'm
Easier
actually
to
gonna go like
slice.
this and then pink. So you can kind of see we're on that camera. You can kind of see everything's in there and it's really held together just like a meatloaf would. And then we can just, I think it's cool enough now, I hope.
Yes, I think it is.
To go ahead and
Oh,
slice that open.
You know what? That looks like meatloaf. I'm actually really convinced.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
so you want to get a nice, now you could serve this with, of course, your classic mashed potatoes and, whatever else you'd normally do meatloaf with. And there you go.
With some mashed potato.
You guys ready to taste
And
it?
then corn's already
Yeah.
worked in. Okay.
Yeah, there's already corn in it.
Yes.
And let me get another
This
little
too.
plate or bowl for.
Don't worry. Alex is going to try some on this one.
Yeah.
I can eat this one with my fingers, so I'm going to try it. Shubli, would you like a
Oh,
little
yeah.
chunk?
Oh, I'll eat with a
We
finger.
need a snack too, Alex.
I'll eat this all day long.
Steam a little while.
This is delicious. Alex, let's get you a little, and Ethan. Here we go. You get everyone a little bit of.
Yeah, we can't let everybody out. I know we're leaving you guys out, but you're going to try this later.
You're gonna try it at home. You're gonna have the recipes, and then you can.
Should we cheers?
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers! Vegetarian meatloaf.
Wow. That's really great.
Isn't that
Oh my god,
amazing?
okay, you only can put corn in it. I mean, you can put other stuff, but you have to at least include the corn.
It's really good with that pop of sweet. in
Yeah.
it.
It pops the sweet. Oh my gosh, you know what it reminds me of? It has the exact same texture as meatloaf. It's not quite as dense, but I like that. It's got perfect flavor. And the mushroom soup,
Yeah,
I think,
try
is
this.
what's making
And
it.
I'm gonna say on this one, actually, it probably could have gone another 5 minutes, and it would be a little denser, like the edges are a little bit.
Mm.
My
on.
favorite thing about this is that you get the kind of like tingles just on the edge of your tongue on
Yeah.
both sides.
You'd be hard pressed to say that this wasn't meat right away, to be honest. with you.
Truly, like if you make this for a
Mm.
vegetarian coming to dinner, who is expecting, by the way, I'm a lifelong
A
vegetarian.
salad.
Every time I go anywhere, it's either going to be one of those vegetable substitute microwave patties that is not how you're supposed to make those,
Oh.
along with or the absolute guaranteed.
Is it pasta?
Yep, pasta with some
Kim,
steamed
give us that face
mushy
again.
broccoli on it. So you make this for someone, they're going to feel like you actually did something for them, but you saw how easy that was.
Mm.
I mean, truly, that was
That
so
was really-
fast.
and it was
Sauteing
all-
onions is it?
I'm gonna make that more often because it's so good.
I think I could make this.
Mhm.
You could.
This is so,
It's so easy. It's literally like if you can make a box cake, you can make this.
I
Yes.
am going to shock my family.
Mhm.
You will.
I love it. I love it. So
What's
your
in
meatless
this?
Fridays, meatless Mondays, this is the thing you want to start with, I think.
Mhm.
honestly.
My
Definitely.
favorite variation on this dish is to make it, of course, you guys heard that I'm a curry guy. So I love to make this with red curry paste in
Oh,
it.
what a great idea.
Oh
And
my
it's-
gosh.
Sometimes I'll add green pepper, and that's all you need.
How about the gochujang?
I mean,
We love that.
Gochujang would be amazing in it.
Oh, I love it.
Alex, I'm slicing you another piece.
Good, 'cause I'm hungry. We need a
this
snack during
is
this.
so y'all.
Any questions?
You all need to
Kim
make
says-
this. This is mandatory cooking, and I'm telling you, it is just so great. I love this dish.
Should we a napkin for you?
And you saw how fast that came together, and we probably only needed another 4 minutes on those onions.
Mhm.
Really, that was it.
So there's
So-
really only one thing to cook. It's the onions and throw it in the oven. Couldn't get
That
it
is
simpler.
that is it, and it's just that good too. Amazing.